Are we rolling? All right, so Olivia, we're on another episode of Between Two Bonsais. This is a big deal today because we have a guest. Olivia is kind of what we call her the COVID hire. You came in right as everything was hitting the fan.
Oh yeah, right as everything shut down.
Yeah, it stunk. I think it's like 3 weeks after you started with us, everyone went into lockdown mode. So this is well overdue. It's the first time we've actually been able to get you in here and introduce you and just kind of ask you a few questions about joining the team.
All right.
And so why don't you tell us your name?
I'm Olivia Outlaw.
Very good. It's the coolest name we have up here. Tell us a little bit. We have you as the digital, what's the title?
Digital Media Associate.
It's too long. Digital Media Associate. I remember it was going to be graphic designer, but we decided to make it Digital Media Associate because you have a background not just in graphic design, but photography and videography. Was that, tell a little bit about you studying. I know you did some video work.
Yeah. I studied film production at UNCW, and then I minored in graphic arts, or digital media. So a little bit of animation, little coding, just kind of all things digital arts. So, and that was a lot of fun, and that's kind of how I got into graphic design and things like that. But yeah, I went to school for film. That's what I kind of always wanted to do. But the more I messed around with other stuff, I realized kind of like it all. So
yeah, well, you're doing a lot of. We're just now getting to the point where we can get you behind the camera because of everything happening with COVID. Everyone pretty much went remote, so that immediately kind of put a lid on videography for us for a while. Now it's all coming back. So getting you behind the camera on that is going to be awesome. But in the meantime, you're doing animation for us and for some of our clients, which allowed you to kind of create from scratch without relying on having to do a shoot or get people in a room. So that kind of opened up a whole new opportunity as an agency for our end. So, I mean, do you find animations more difficult than doing post-production work on video, or is it just completely different medium?
It's like a different kind of difficulty, I'd say. Yeah, like it's a lot of moving parts. So, because you're, making something pretty much from scratch that moves around. But I think that's it's pretty fun. It's kind of a mix of a lot of different, creative cloud apps is how I feel. And so that's why I like it. And it's kind of works together everything I like about different mediums. Like it has a bit of illustration, graphic design, which I love making, and then it does some of the film stuff with getting to create kind of a storyline, and and it even has a little bit of coding, which isn't super fun, but
no, I mean, but it's cool to hear. As a layman, I don't know the parts and pieces that go into the final product, but to hear it's many lanes. It's not just a drag and drop software, which I think is what a lot of people might think it is. I know a lot of the stuff you've done is custom work, and I always find it fascinating that you're able to take a brand storyline and try to find the entertaining side of it. Just as our own business, I know that what we do day to day isn't always sexy. It's not always fun, and I can only imagine trying to create a storyline around designing brochures. It would be difficult to do, or whatever it is, a website. And it's cool to see how your mind's eye works to bring the story out of the day-to-day product or service, which has been fun.
It's a lot of fun. Even text animating and stuff like that, just making words move around. It's a lot of fun, and it makes it a lot more exciting.
How long does it take, though? I don't think people understand. Just to have a word move across the screen and then something come up.
I mean, it really just depends what you're doing. If you're just moving around shapes, it's not too bad. Yeah. I mean, but that's kind of what you start with learning, and essentially you build off that, which is pretty cool. So the first things I ever learned were making text move across the page, or making a square spin or something simple like that, and then you just rolearn how you can build all that. You get into parenting and expressions and stuff like that. That's cool. Make it essentially you're rotating, but you're rotating in more human fashion or something like that.
Well, I know that you're working on a project right now that's very graphic intense. It takes place in an actual physical location of a brand, so you have to replicate what that looks like. So it's neat to see the pieces come together. Beyond the amazing stuff you're doing here, tell us a little bit about your personal. I mean, that sounds creepy, but tell us a little. I mean, I know you live out at the beach. You're a beach person. I mean, just for folks that haven't met you yet.
Yeah, I live out at the beach. I love it. I'm a little sunburnt. Y'all should see my
It's a good
back.
weekend to
It's
be out
literally,
there.
it was great. Yeah, I love the beach. I'm from Texas, which is really cool. Spent the last summer in Houston, and just a huge city. So I like exploring. I like traveling around. Got some trips planned I'm excited for. Been to some cool places. I'm excited for COVID to be over for that too. Not just to be like back to normal and get to be in the office and stuff, but also just to get to go places. We're all going to Charlotte soon. I'm excited.
I'm stoked about that. That's going to be a good trip. It's the first trip, I think, as a team we've taken since last year. So it's nice. I'll kind of close with this. It's awesome to finally have you be around the community that is Bonsai versus us all looking at each other through a computer screen through Zoom. Yeah. And we've had some, like Mars' wedding was amazing. And like we've had moments now where we've all come together and slowly coming out from under the rock that was the pandemic. So we welcome you aboard. We're stoked to have you here. You've been amazing so far, and I can't wait for other clients and friends of ours to meet you.
Me too. I'm excited.
Cool. Thanks, Olivia.
Yeah.